Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we'll give all praises to the Heavenly Father,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Double honors to the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect, the remnant, all right, which consists of the 144,000, all right, which some of those men are here preaching right now, all right, at this very hour, and scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, all right, preaching the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, singing a new song. All right, after that, you have the large multitude, the rest of the men, women, and children, whom the Lord will have mercy on, all right? That body is known as the remnant, who's going to be restored to righteousness, man. A lot of them are here on earth, but some of them are already in the heavens, cheering us on, all right, as we go through our sacrifice, man. All right, so we're here another week, all right, to preach the glorious word of the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose Hebrew name is Yahweh. All right, it means he exists, he is, okay, he to be. Right, Bahashem, in the name of the Mashiach, the Messiah, all right, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, our mediator, our high priest, and way back to the Father in these last days, man. And as you can see, the world is getting significantly worse. Why is that? Because the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai are going out via the prophets, who are vessels chosen to come into the planet Earth, born through a man and a woman, all right, and receive the word at some point and go out and preach and prophesy, speak the end into existence. And this is what we represent, man. So you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, as well as you who don't look like or associate with those particular nations, but you somehow, this word has you locked in and you feel it. This word goes out unto you, man. The elect, those who will repent and coming back to the Father through Yahweh Shai, man. So we're going to start off. Anybody got something? All right, with the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, and hopefully edification comes out.
Kind. Isaiah 14:1, it says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
The Lord will have mercy on Jacob, okay? And that's what this is all about. When you go into the Holy Scriptures, we always hear about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which are the patriarchs, the fathers of the promise, okay? Well, there was a particular land this particular chosen line was to rule out of, starting at Adam through Seth, okay, eventually leading up to Noah, Shem, Ham. There was a particular land we were to rule out of. That land is known as the Garden Eastern Eden, all right, which today we know it as Jerusalem, okay, and that line was kicked out of that land because of rebellion. Well, through Abraham, there was a promise to have inheritance rights back to that land through faith, okay, and that's what we represent. So the Lord is having mercy on the house of Jacob because it was prophesied in the latter days that seed will be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, okay, as a curse, okay? But in the latter days, the Lord would have mercy on us. By what? Sending us the understanding, which through the understanding, we now have the kingdom of heaven. We just have to speak it into existence, okay? So the Lord is going to have mercy on Jacob because of the promise he made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and their seed. As a matter of fact, somebody get the book of Genesis 35, and start at 10, real quick.
Genesis 35 and verse 10, right, it reads, and Yahweh said unto him, thy name is Jacob.
Right.
Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob,
right,
but Israel.
Yashar Allah, Israel, which means he is the prince of the power. Before that, we were known as the sons of God. Basically, Yashar Allah, the prince of the power, is the same thing. Okay, go ahead.
But Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel.
Right.
And Yahweh said unto him, I am God Almighty.
Right.
Be fruitful and multiply.
Be fruitful and multiply. That was the order. The Lord gave him wives. What was he to do with those wives? Be fruitful and multiply, because the Lord wanted something. What did he want? The 12 tribes. So that the promise that he gave to Abraham, that was passed to Isaac, okay, could be passed to him and fall on the head of the 12 sons. Okay, which that seed is still here. Okay, the very fact that you see the sun and the moon, that lets you know that the actual seed of the nation of Israel is here. Okay, and so we're not making this up. This is in the Holy Scriptures. Go ahead.
A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee.
Shall be of thee, meaning they're going to come out of your loins. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee. Okay, and each tribe is a nation of its own. Okay, go ahead.
And kings shall come out of thy loins.
And kings shall come out of thy loins, man. Okay, go ahead.
And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac,
The land which I gave Abraham and Isaac,
to thee I will give it,
to thee will I give it. Go ahead.
and to thy seed after thee.
And to thy seed after thee. That promise was made to that particular line only. The inheritance rights to that land. All right, and right now you have a group of people in that land saying that they're the rightful heirs to that land. And it's not causing an uproar. Everybody just accepts it. We're telling you the only way back to that land is through Yahweh Shai, but first we have to what? Exude the fruit to the Spirit and have faith and go through our course. We have to earn that land back, okay? But it's already written and promised as we're reading here. Some more?
No, that's it.
That's it. So, all right, in the latter days, what would the Lord do? He would raise up a remnant. Matter of fact, real quick before we go there, Isaiah, the 20th chapter, or the 10th chapter, and the 20th verse. Okay? And this is what's happening in the planet Earth, man. The remnant is here. All right? The very fact that brothers and sisters are calling themselves Israelites is a fulfillment of biblical prophecy, man. So this is big. This ain't no small thing. But it looks small because that's how the Lord wants it. Go ahead.
Isaiah 10 and 20. All right, it reads, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel,
Right.
and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay.
What is it say above that?
19 it says, and the rest of the tree.
No, that's good. Start over.
Isaiah 10 and 20 again from the top. It reads, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped from the house of Jacob,
Right.
shall no more again stay upon him that smote them.
Escaped of the house of Jacob, because right, we're prisoners of war. We're in captivity, but there's a remnant that's going to escape through going upward. All right, through being redeemed back to the Father through Yahweh Shai, who's going to give us a new body, a way back to perfection. Only a remnant is going to escape. Okay, go ahead.
But shall stay upon the Lord.
We're no longer going to read that part again. Read 20 again.
20 from the top. It reads, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel,
Right.
and such as are escaped from the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him
Right.
that smote them.
So the escaping really starts with this wisdom. This is when we start to be runaway slaves, when we got this understanding. Okay? And what Esau wants to do is pretty much brand each and every one of us, or just ultimately X us out, like Cain tried to do with Abel, so that ultimately he and his sacrifice can be accepted by the Lord. Okay? So we've escaped, starting with this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, but that's going to lead to us physically escaping, okay, out of this prison, because this is a prison. We were not brought here, all right, on a vacation. We were brought here for a punishment, to acknowledge our offenses and understand that the Lord ain't playing with us, man. So go ahead.
Continuing on. Such as are escaped from the house of Jacob,
Right.
shall no more again stay upon him that smote them.
We're not staying up on you Edomites. We don't lean up on you for understanding. We don't look to you to know what to be mad about, what to call ourselves, what to eat, how to act, to be thugs, to be bitches and hoes. We've turned away from your narrative and leaning upon you, thinking that going to your colleges makes you smart or better than everybody else. We don't lean on you no more. Now, within this system, you got to go to the enemy in want of all things, right? But ultimately, spiritually, we're disconnected. We use this world as not abusing it. Okay, go ahead.
But shall stay upon the Lord,
Right.
the Holy One of Israel, in truth.
In truth, and that's what's happening. We're no longer leaning on you Edomites, which is why you're so afraid. Because Esau has he got a God complex, especially when it comes to you Israelites. He wants control over how you act, what you eat, what you're doing, how you assemble, what you call culture, what you gravitate towards, what you listen to. He wants control over that. But once you step outside of the box, which is an accusation against you, he's the accuser of the brethren, and that accusation, you pretty much put it on as a culture. Okay? So to see us stepping out of that and saying, nah, that ain't who we are, he's offended. That's why he's getting ready to come after the woman, as it says in the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter. Okay, he's getting ready to come after us because ultimately we're no longer under his mind control. We've escaped. Okay, go ahead.
Continuing on. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob,
Right.
unto the mighty God.
Uh-huh.
For thou thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea.
Right, though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, which who was that promised to? Abraham. It said your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, okay, which cannot be measured or numbered. So there's billions of Israelites, right? Go ahead.
Yet a remnant of them shall return.
A remnant of them shall return. What is the purpose of that remnant returning? Because what did he promise Jacob? Unto you and your seed after you will I give this land, okay? Which that's the land Solomon ruled out of. That's the land that we're going to return to under Yahushua, Eastern Eden, okay? Go ahead.
The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness.
Right, it's going to overflow with righteousness. The Lord is going to make it happen. Now let's go back to Isaiah 14. So now you can understand why it's being said what it said, okay? Go ahead.
Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose
The
Israel.
Lord will have mercy on Jacob, right? Because as a curse, we were cast off. We were Gentiles. We were ultimately disowned by the Most High, which is why you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have such a brutal history, all right? There's an answer for why all of that happened. But the Lord is extending what? Mercy. Go ahead.
And set them in their own land.
See, set them in their own land. Did we just not read who that applied to?
Right.
Okay? He's gonna set them in that land.
Inheritance.
It's an inheritance, man. Okay? Which is why what you're doing right now is important. What we're doing right now and what Yahushua did, first off, is for many generations, forever and ever and ever, to eventually have a government of righteousness, man. And this is what we're doing. We've made our bodies a living sacrifice so that this spiritual temple can be established, man. Okay, go ahead.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
The strangers are going to be joined with them. Now, when you read Revelation, the 7th chapter, you have the 144,000, okay, which is the governing body. The 12 is going to be at the head of that, according to Revelation, the 21st chapter. And after that, you have a large multitude. Okay, they have inheritance too, but it starts with Yahushua and then them. Okay, and then the strangers, all right, the Israelite foreigners are going to be joined in. Okay, from all different nations, tongues. Okay, there's particular Israelites all over the planet Earth that the Lord has ordained to receive salvation. So it's going to have mercy on Jacob, the house of David, okay, to be established. But through that, everybody else gets their inheritance. Call Halal Yahweh Shemel Shai. And we're going to go throughout the whole entire planet Earth. It don't stop at Jerusalem.
Right.
That's just the base. We're going to part the 12, the land amongst the 12 tribes. Okay? Starting with the 144. Okay? Yahweh Shai first, then the 144. David's the first king. Okay? And then our brothers and sisters who are delivered, they're going to be set up right. And then we're going to go throughout the whole entire planet Earth and win. It's going to be a party, an Israelite party.
That's right.
So the strangers being joined with us is, all right, our brothers and sisters scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. After the governing body is set up, there's a large multitude out of every kindred and tongue and nation. When you look up that word kindred, it's phula, which means somebody descendant from one of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Okay, go ahead.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Right, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush,
Right.
and from Elam,
Right.
and from Shinar.
Showing you got Israelites everywhere. A lot of the people you walk by every day, you may go to a store, and you think, let's heathen. Sometimes it could be a Jake. Okay? Jake is as the sand of the sea. But Jake is all over the earth. And real quick, Deuteronomy 30, where he says, wherever you at, I'm going to gather you. All right, so we start over on that.
Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt,
Right.
and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of
He's
Israel.
going to assemble the outcasts of Israel from around the four corners of the earth. And they're going to come looking like a lot of other nations, man. Okay? Now, real quick, read that.
So Deuteronomy 30:3, it says that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee.
Right?
If any of thine be driven out to the outmost parts of the heaven,
Right.
from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee.
There you go. So our brothers and sisters, all right, everywhere, however the Lord does it, all right, because it seems impossible, but guess what? All things are possible with Yahweh Shah.
Now jump to verse 6.
Yep, you can break it down.
Verse 6 it says, and the Lord thy God will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed to love thy, that's the laws being written within your inward parts,
There
right?
you go.
Which that hasn't happened yet. So what he's going into, there's a particular fashion in which the children of Israel are going to be brought back to that land. Those people in the land right now, they don't fit the storyline. So it's like, hold up, somebody's lying. Is it the word or is it you? Clearly it's them. All right, but it goes on to say, to love the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul that thou mayest live. Because over in that land, they push so much wickedness upon the earth.
Right.
Those people, the small hats, they got their hand in every wickedness in the earth. Anything that you think of, they're the driver's seat, man.
Right.
So now you got to ask yourself, well, damn, they're not abiding by, the decrees that
Right.
the Lord gave.
Because
Spirit
you like
don't bear
Jacob,
witness to
return
them.
home.
Right. Yeah.
Jacob, return home. Shit, it's time for paradise. It should be peace.
Yeah, that land looks horrible now because it looks all bare and dusty and it's completely ugly. That's supposed to be the land full of milk and honey that was promised when you were born out of Egypt.
Perpetual state of war over there.
On the biggest scale, the earth looks horrible.
Everything.
Because when we go back to that land, what? The earth is going to be made new again.
Right.
That hasn't happened. No,
That's right. Finish that.
Back in Isaiah chapter 11 and middle verse 12, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
There you go. And they're going to be everywhere, man. So that's what that means.
Tobit 13:3. Confess him before the Gentiles, you children of Israel.
Right.
For he has scattered us among them.
He scattered us among them. This is a scattering.
Right.
Being here in America is a result of being scattered, which is a punishment. But the Lord is going to gather us back, and that's what's happening, starting with this understanding, man. So that's why you got to take this. This ain't nothing to play with, man. Like, this was written before you even born, and you fulfilling it. I say that a lot because that excites me, you know.
And that's big because there's no other, religion or philosophy that you can follow where you can say, whoa, this was written back then and it's playing out now.
Right.
There's no prophecy, detailed prophecy, not just broad.
It's not Socrates.
Yeah.
Right.
Detailed prophecies concerning the people are in this book. There's no other literature that you can say it, that you can do that with. This
It's a
is
living
it.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a living book.
Right. So start over in Isaiah 14.
Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them.
Joined, and that word joined, okay, we're all going to be joined back to the Father, but there's an order. But every man in his own order. There's a ranking system. They ain't going to just be willy-nilly. No, there's going to be particular order. Under Yahweh Shai, the 12, the 144, then the large multitude. They're going to cleave, meaning they're going to be back joined back to the Father as well, but it's an order, man. Okay? Now, keep going.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Right.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
All right, and this is speaking of what? The actual physical captivity of the heathen.
Right.
Okay, we're not going to put our own people into captivity. This is speaking of the heathen.
That's right.
Okay, because every kingdom has servants.
Right.
When we say the term you're going to be slaves, it's really you're going to be a servant.
That's right.
Okay, every kingdom in the planet Earth had servants. Right now, if you're an employee, you are a slave.
That's right.
When Solomon set up his kingdom, what did he do? He put the heathen to work. Get it? Let's get it real quick to show you that the same thing that happened under Solomon is going to happen under Yahweh Shai in an even greater fashion. And people look at this brutal way that Esau had slaves and think that that's what we're talking about now. Yeah, there is going to be a rod of iron. Okay, there's going to be judgment. But what's the end result? What's the end goal of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai? that everybody on the planet Earth confess that Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, is the only and true power, man. That's it. And see, that comes with what? The nations learning righteousness. So yeah, it's judgment coming, okay, but we're not going to do you like Esau, keep you from the understanding of who you are, poison you, rape your women in front of you, okay, rape your children. We're not going to do that.
We're going to have a righteous kingdom.
It's going to be a righteous kingdom, and the heathen will learn righteousness, man.
Exactly.
Okay? What did I ask for?
That's how we sing Solomon.
1 second, is it 1 Kings 9? Yep, that's it. Started at a good spot.
17. 1 Kings 9 and 17. And Solomon built Gezer and Betharon and Nether.
Because Solomon, when he conquered, what did he do? He started building, started setting up shop. Okay? And he had particular heathen, all right, that were working for him.
Exactly. You the king, you're not finna build.
Right.
Solomon ain't finna work out a blueprint or a plan and put hammer to nail. No.
Right.
Continuing on. And Bala and Tadmor in the wilderness in the land. And all the cities of store that Solomon had.
Right.
And cities for his chariots and cities for his horsemen.
Right.
And that which Solomon desired to build in Jerusalem.
Floyd Mayweather got a garage for his cars. Solomon had a city for his chariot. Well, what is Yahushua going to have? Planets. Yeah. Right? Next level. All right? We ain't thinking on a low level. Yeah. Hey, Solomon said in Ecclesiastes, I had pools, I had mansions, I had people, I had men and women playing instruments for me. Yeah. He really did it.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah.
He did it. Okay? Far above anything we've seen.
Speaker, man, he had an orchestra.
But he went off. See, but Yahushua did what he did so that Yahushua didn't go off. Okay, go ahead.
And in Lebanon, and in all the land of his dominion.
Right.
And
Dominion. The kingdom, a king's domicile.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And all the people that were left of the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites.
The king's dominance. Dominion. I mean, you're ruling. Go ahead.
Which were not of the children of Israel.
Start over in that
Verse 20. 1 Kings 9 and 20. And all the people that were left of the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites.
Now these are the heathen that David took down. These are the heathen which were in the land. Okay? Going all the way back to Joshua. We've been warned with them, to get this land. So David finally conquers them, okay? And then the Lord, through Solomon, is going to establish what? The throne of David, and that's what happened. So the rest of those who were of those lineages that didn't die, go ahead.
Which were not of the children of Israel.
Right.
Their children that were left after them in the land, whom the children of Israel also were not able utterly to destroy. Upon those did Solomon levy a tribute of bondservants unto this day.
And to those did Solomon put in captivity. Look up the word levy. Okay? He levied a tribute. So we ain't lying. We not just coming out here some angry niggas, right? We watch Roots.
Right.
Right? And we just picked up, we watched, what's that nigga? Not that nigga. No. That one brother who revolt. The thing was the kid. Nat Turner. We didn't watch the Nat Turner movie and say, you know what? We gonna pick up Bibles and go, nah, man. Right. We just mad. And it's beyond slavery. We deserve slavery. How about how you treating the earth, nigga? Right. Okay, so you're gonna get paid back, man. And you're not gonna remove your necks from the foresaid prophecies. We had to go through it. Okay, go ahead.
This is the word levy is H5927 in the blue letter. It's Allah. Allah. Okay. And it says
Gotta get some more Hebrew class. Get back on that. Go ahead.
to be taken up, be brought up, be taken away. To take oneself away. You have to be carried away, be led up.
Yeah, you can carry it away, right? Now, trip, you looked at
It gotta be like taxes on it.
Yeah, so we looked at it last week. Go to tribute. Or, what did it say? He levied a tribute of what? Servitude? Look up tribute. Yeah, I think that's it. We looked up. Yep. Yep.
It goes back to being converted to labor.
Masa. Yep. Masa. Masa. That's what the word is. Masa. Just like we was calling Esau massa.
Yep.
All right, which in the Hebrew, matazarium. Okay, double straights. Okay, but right here it was saying masa, and what does it say?
It says gang or body of forced laborers,
Right.
task workers, labor band or
Right.
gang, forced service, task work, serfdom.
There you go. And within our laws, there's a way you treat your servants. See, so people hear servitude and they automatically think Esau
Yeah.
and how he did it, raping,
Shackles and
brutal,
chains.
knocking your goddamn teeth out, and
Yeah.
making you throw up, forcing pig intestines inside of you. That's not what we're gonna do now. Revelation 2, real quick. Revelation, the 2nd chapter, and the 26th verse. There is a judgment aspect according to what? Psalms 149. Okay? To execute upon that was when Nat Turner read. Now, we're not here to preach the message to go out and fight you devils, but once Yahweh returns and gives us little new bodies, and we eventually come down on the earth to set up the throne of David, there will be a judgment issue. Okay? And you're worthy of it.
Right.
You Edomites, you Moabites, you have all the ites. Okay? Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my words unto the end,
Woo!
to him will I give power over the nations.
Power over the nations. Go ahead.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
He's going to rule them with the rod of iron. Right? That's what's coming. And yes, there's judgment, but years down the line, okay, all of the heathen are going to learn and know righteousness. Okay? They're going to know we don't eat rat. They're going to know we don't rape children. We don't eat human flesh. They're going to know the mind of the Lord. And they're going to be subject to that. And when they go off, they will be punished. But it's all going to be in righteousness. See, it's all going to be predicated upon if you do right or wrong according to the Most High's judgments.
They're going to struggle, the heathen nations are going to struggle with the flesh.
Right.
They're going to still be in the flesh, just like Cap going to all the time. Only eternal life and those new bodies is promised for Israel.
That's it.
That's it. So just like how we feel bad when we go off, it's going to be like that for them. They're not going to be able to help themselves because they're going to be in the flesh. But we're going to be in those perfect bodies and we're going to be those judges.
And they still going to be better off than they are in Esau's kingdom. Right?
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Right. You're going to have access to clean air. You're going to have access to clean water. Your children are going to have to, your children are going to be learning about George Washington, Christopher Columbus. They're going to be learning about Yahweh Shah and the 144. Those are going to be the curriculums that are taught throughout the planet Earth, the laws of the Lord. All right, and that's that. The movie, you're going to have to go see our movies. Okay, we might, who knows what kind of, and I'm speaking as a man, all right, you know, what I got, but we go be the Christmas forced down your throat here, Feast of Tabernacles in the kingdom. Halloween's forced down your throat here, Hanukkah in the kingdom, or the new Passover, which is going to be the celebration of being delivered out of here. Time. That's right. You want that thing. That brother had a hard week. God damn it, Martha. Hey, I feel you though. It's time. It's time. And we those children, so these words affect us, man.
Right.
When we hear these words, man, that it should, you know, it does something to you. You know? That's the victory, man.
Yeah, it's worth fighting for, man.
Bro, I've been watching the races, the track thing, and then after some of those victories, bro, you can like get emotional for the people. To see Jake, you know, win, you're like, oh, you know, how much more when we get the victory, the kingdom, man?
Crying over a medal.
Right,
You know
and
what
it
I'm
ain't like you
saying?
crying, but it's just like you be like,
It's
yeah,
joy.
you know?
It's joy.
Yeah.
All that work it takes to win the 100-meter dash. Shit.
Like when Floyd used to win fights.
Yeah.
You know, we was with him, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's like you know, when he win, your favorite to whatever. All right, you know. So when we hear these things, man, it affects us, man, because we're those children, man. written, all right, to wake up in the latter days, man. And how glorious of a thing it is to be in your wicked, decrepit kingdom and tell you you're going down. you nigga. So read what Solomon did again. Well, no. Where we at? Revelation. Read that again.
Back in Revelation 2, I saw 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
Right, you're gonna have power over the nations, man. That's what kind of power that the Lord is getting ready to give us. When Yahweh told David or Peter, I give you the keys, that means authority. It starts with the understanding, but that means eventually authority over the entire planet Earth, particular regions, man. Go ahead.
And he shall rule them with the rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers.
They're going to be broken into shivers, man. We're not just making this up. It's prophecy. And we're not ashamed to come out here and tell you the truth of these things, man. A guy like Geno Jennings, he ain't going to tell you that. They're making money. And when you look into the crowd, it's just nothing but a bunch of old, played out jakes, man. It's a graveyard. So why are you even going up to that church, man? As an Israelite, look, we're in the driver's seat. So look, if anything, you want to set up a debate with them, try to set up a debate. But going up to these churches and trying to force these jakes to, nah, that ain't the time we're in. The word is out there. They already know about the Israelites. Their pastors are mocking the Israelites, some of their servants. If the Lord is dealing with them, he's going to gather them out of there anyway. Weren't we gathered out of there? Yeah. That wasn't on us. That was on the Lord. All right, now we preach, we do the videos, we preach the word of God on the highways, but who's gathered is up to the Lord, man. So you going up and try to force these old played out niggas, you need to stop teaching us. First of all, what's that scripture? If there be a false master, a false prophet, I, the Lord, deceive that nigga. Because see, with the Lord, he don't want everybody. So there's particular people with enough charisma to draw in other niggas so all them niggas can die.
You resisting the will of the Heavenly Father trying to do your own thing.
It sounds crazy, right? Yeah. But that's what the Lord does. And in Romans 9, he tells you, I punish people for what I make them do. What you gonna tell me? Now, who hardened Pharaoh's heart? Who drowned his ass?
I made him. Shit.
Right. And those spirits gonna go back to him and eventually come to the earth anyway. We see death as just this horrifying event.
Not a final.
Yeah.
When a director writes a movie, he writes out the protagonist, the antagonist, stuff they're gonna do in the movie, how they're ending. That's what the Lord is doing. You don't see the actor in the movie going to the director saying, I don't like my part, you can change.
Right. Yep. So, you got it? What did I ask for? It's in Ezekiel. You got it? Ezekiel 14. Yeah, I, the Lord. So you can't tell them they need to stop teaching that. The Lord wants them to teach that. Okay? Who's going to be drawn away from that is through you making your body a living sacrifice. And eventually, however the Lord wants them to get it, they're going to get it. Go ahead.
You remember how Nathan acted? You remember how UIC acted when Jake was asking about the name and the MOTV?
Right.
They was bullhorn screaming and hollering. Yeah, don't say so. Y'all acted just like Christians.
Well, it's black Jesus versus white Jesus. We're going to get back to Isaiah.
Yeah.
All right, but the Spirit just wanted to address this. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 14:9, all right, it reads, and if the prophet be deceived when he hath spoken a thing,
Right.
I, the Lord, have deceived that
I
prophet.
made that nigga stupid. And Geno Jennings is through.
Man.
He's a character, though.
Man.
He's funny. Like, he's like one of those blaxploitation characters.
Right,
From
yeah.
the 70s black movies.
Oh!
Yeah, you know, chasing a nigga with a big steering wheel, with a hat to the side. We gonna get these niggas, man. That type of nigga. That's him. You know, he's a character, man. Nobody take that guy serious, man. Okay? But he wants you all to believe, and his whole gripe is the white man. They hate the white man. They hate white people. So he ain't teaching the truth. The Lord ain't dealing with that guy, man. Okay? And you got certain Israelites going to his comment board. We ain't like them. We ain't with them camps. Right. Okay? Because you see, there's better representation. Even on vocab comment board. There's better representation of Israelites. The camps are toxic. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We not like them.
That's terrible.
A nigga. Which is the reason you know about IUIC is because they're a camp that put videos up on the internet. I mean, we at least say that. The very fact you know about the camps in Israel is because of people who are loading videos that are part of camps.
Right.
Or who heard one of them and went up and eventually set up their own thing.
Learning like a hoe. It's just certain things you don't agree
But
with.
then they want to toss the camps away. So you toss the camps away, then what? What do we do next? If all of the camps stop loading videos, okay? Because even the mistakes we make, it's because the camps are visible. You see?
Forefront, yeah.
They're on the forefront. Even the bullshit Jake does is because they're loading videos to YouTube and people know about them.
Right.
That's how people are finding out they're Israelites. Through camps, man.
It's just Jake don't like order.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. But they ain't doing shit.
Typing, man.
I'm saying all of Israel's black, calling on all of these various different names and talking shit on the internet. Growing gardens. Ooh, my garden. Ooh, a watermelon that came up out of my Hebrew garden. Shalom. How's that gonna get us to the kingdom, man? Go ahead.
And I will stretch out my hand upon him,
Right.
and I will destroy him in the midst of my people Israel.
So the Lord deceived the prophet, make him say all of these wayward things, then he gonna judge him. And that's what's getting ready to happen to Christianity. Let that shit, let the dead bury the dead. That was when we first came in, we may have, we gonna go up in these churches, you have brothers doing that. But at this point, that's the last thing on our mind, man.
They gonna self-destruct.
Right. Right. Then they getting into fights with Big Mama. And those niggas are leaving there and going and getting more macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, right.
Frying more cat. They not listening to you. Niggas ain't worried about what's going on in the earth. Okay? Niggas are fixated upon folly, so evidently the Lord just don't want them. If he wakes them up, he does. All right? Let's go back to Isaiah 14.
Back in Isaiah 14, and I'll read 2 again.
Right.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
So we're going to have servants. We're going to have handmaids in our kingdom. Okay? It's not just this far out thing. The kingdom's on earth. Okay? The hierarchy, there's going to be the Yahweh Shah, the 144, and then all Israel's going to be perfected. Go ahead.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
See, this is what Jake is afraid to proclaim, and this is what people like Vocab are afraid to hear. All right? We're going to take captives those who had us captive. See? Yep, let's get it. Revelation 13. I gotta get everything.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
It is hot. All right, go ahead.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Right, now in the midst of this chapter where John, the Revelator, is describing this wicked beast system that will be ran by the Edomites, he just says this. If any man have an ear, meaning this is only for the elect. You can't tell a nigga this and he's going to accept it. You know what a nigga going to say? What? Oh yeah, that makes us just as bad as them. We Gentiles. Those the Jews. We ain't no Israelites.
Oh my goodness. But the heathens want to say that about you. If the shoe's on the other foot, they'll be all with it.
Right. Jake is all about the welfare of the heathen.
Exactly.
But the heathen ain't checking for none of you niggas. They don't hook you up in their stores unless you freak off with them. The so-called, the small hat with the billions of dollars and trillions of dollars he get annually from aid, which is the true welfare, baby. When he get all that money, does he say, well, let me give some of this money to the niggas in America for what happened unto them? Yep. We getting money for what happened unto us. So why can't we, come together? And they ain't even thought about you niggas. But the first thing a nigga wants to do when you tell him he's chosen and he's gonna be above in the kingdom is, oh man, that's racist.
What about such and such? What about this and that? Yeah.
What does racist mean? That means you kill other people, nigga. Shut up. That ain't even what that means. It's another thing, you Israelites, you got to know the meaning of words. That's a way that Esau's been able to manipulate your mind through the use of words. Spells are in words. Okay? This English language in itself is a snare. It's a trap. Okay? Race just means the gene line you come from. This is something you advocate for. Okay? Something you prefer above the other.
You like racing.
Right. You got rapists. They advocate for being rapists. You got all kind of nationalists. You got all kind of ist.
It's the hardest. This is the hardest language. English is the hardest language to learn.
The Most High is the top race ist because he advocates for his people above taking the heathen down and the bad things that are going to happen to them. That's just his preference.
He brought his racism down.
Right. He does repeatedly. Okay? And it doesn't always have something to do bad with the heathen. It's just his will.
Right. And that's the thing. Race don't have nothing to do with violence.
No.
Hate.
You can just put them down.
Prejudice.
Right.
None of these words have anything to do with violence. They indicate how you feel about something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you don't like cheese, that don't mean you got an all-out war on cheese. You go up at Tom Thumb and all the cheese. You just stay away from cheese.
Right. I hate it. I can't. I have a strong dislike for it.
You can hate a person without laying a finger on them.
Right.
But people don't realize that.
Right.
You know?
My body, my choice, right? Hey, you can't tell me what to do with my body, nigga. Go ahead.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Right.
He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword.
That's clearly speaking to you Edomites.
Right.
So vocab here is this. He wants to go into it. No, that's not what that's talking about. He's scared. He basically got a lecture coming up on how to identify a black Hebrew Israelite. And you know who did that? Hitler. There was a doctrine, there was a particular thing back then where he was like, this is how you spot one of those, those 1948ers. This is how you spot one. This is what you do if you catch one, detain them, yada, yada, yada. So pretty much, persecution is coming, man. You think vocab is just doing this for no reason? There's something on a bigger grand that's coming. That's basically Haman.
Yep. He in his next phase.
He in his next phase. Okay?
Yeah.
So you go have to be wise as a serpent in the times coming.
They're going to have to get cornered because they came in the spirit.
God. Oh yeah, Jake walking around with fringes everywhere. Hey, you're gonna be a target.
That's right.
Now, hey, if the Lord's with you, He's with you, and there's nothing wrong with fringes. Brothers who you see Jake with their fringes, that's a beautiful thing. Our people are waking up. Okay, but that doesn't give you any kind of advantage.
Right.
More of all, the purpose of those fringes, because Jake was going off so much, they would need something physical on their clothing so that they can know not to sin.
Yeah, right.
They can remember it's the Sabbath. Oh, you see this dangling? Oh, it's just the Sabbath. Oh, what is it? You know?
Those fringes are not going to stop them from getting on you.
Right.
You see that? Oh, no, stop it up. He got fringes. No, let him go. No.
Right.
That's going to make him bounce on you.
Right. And furthermore, it's in you. None of you are fulfilling that law fully. Like you got it, right?
Right.
But you're not looking at them to say, I'm not going to sin.
Right.
You're automatically doing that. When you walk in the Spirit. That's why the scriptures say to walk in the Spirit is to fulfill the law. But if a brother feels like you got to have that, or a sister, hey, by all means. Okay, but we can't start condemning one or the other because they don't have them, or thinking somehow you're not. There's doctrines you're not going to be saved if when the Lord returns you don't have on fringes. So the Lord come and you in the shower, you done.
He didn't say he's going to stir you up by prayer. He's going to stir your mind up by way of remembrance.
Right.
He that killed with the
When you
sword.
see a piece of bacon, you be like, oh shit. Okay. It's in you. Jake was going, because Jake picked up a stick on the Sabbath and he got stoned. So it was like, look, man, put these fringes on your garments so that whenever you out and you may forget, you can see that dangling and make you remember about the fear of the Lord. How do we do that now? Through Yahweh Shai.
Right.
That's what we see.
That's his mind being you. That was
Right?
Yahushua. Yep.
Go ahead.
He that killeth with the sword
He
must
said, I will set up an ensign for the nations. Yahweh Shai is that ensign. All of the law really points to Yahweh Shai, man. Go ahead. What the nigga tripped over a blue cup.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Must. Go ahead.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Woo! There you go. All right. Isaiah 14.
Back in Isaiah 14 in the end of 2. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
Right.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
That's what I'm saying.
They shall rule over their oppressors.
That's got to happen.
No equality.
See, you got people. I would say
Yeah.
you got people that steady ripping out pages and trying to sugarcoat. No. These things are gonna happen, man. As harsh as they sound, or as uncomfortable as they may make you, it's gotta happen because it's written.
Right. And vocab said that was fulfilled in the Babylonian captivity when we got to rebuild the temple. Oh, really? Oh, really? Who did we rule over in the Persian captivity?
Right. That's what I'm saying. While we was building, we had to fight.
And we had to ask for loans. We had to get loans. Yeah. What's the brother's name? In the book when we was rebuilding the temple, you have what books were written? You got Ezra.
Ezra, Nehemiah.
Yeah, Nehemiah. Was it Nehemiah? He was the cupbearer for the king, right? Was either him or one of those? And basically his countenance was all messed up. And the king was like, "What's wrong?" He was like, "My people, man, they sacked the
That's
temple."
when
That's Nehemiah. They sacked the temple, man.
Put out the decree.
Right. So the king was like, "Damn, man," because he loved him.
Right.
He's like, "All right, I'll help you. I'll give you a loan to rebuild it." So the king, when we finally get the kingdom, we don't need a loan. No, that was a beautiful time. The Lord put the spirit on Cyrus to allow us to rebuild it. It was finished at the time of Darius, but at the end of the day, that wasn't fulfilled. What we're reading, that had nothing to do with that.
Right. If we had control of the heat, they wouldn't have snitched to us to Darius and trying to stop us.
Right.
You know, told them to sit there. They don't sit there.
Right. They were writing letters, trying to get us. Lying. That ain't this. This is talking about what's coming. Okay, and this is what they fear. Go ahead.
Isaiah 14:3, and it shall come to pass in the day the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
And this is what we're here to proclaim to you Israelites. Rest is coming. Okay, a kingdom. Okay, where it's righteousness, man. Okay, you're not gonna have to work. You're gonna have servants. You're gonna be perfect. Okay, you're gonna be kings and princesses. You're not gonna have this warped mind frame. All of the food you eat, you're gonna know exactly where it came from. You're gonna have your own land. Okay, you're gonna have your heart's desire. Even the lower level Israelites that ain't amongst the hierarchy, guess what? They're gonna be good. They're gonna be set up and blessed. Okay, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 60. Let's start at verse 4. Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee.
The abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. Okay, so we're not just coming into, man, I'm gonna give you an apartment complex. Right. You gonna have these houses. You gonna take care of it. No, we're coming into the earth. And within the earth, man, see, the earth right now is just being mismanaged. So Jake don't really have an idea of the things that's in the earth.
We can really tap in.
See, amongst us, we tap into the earth, we get into the resin, we get into the incense, we get into the oils, we get into the scents of the earth, we get into everything. But how much more when we have full, and when the earth really flourishes? You know how much more it is? Okay, that's what real riches are, the earth.
Free energy.
Yep. You went to the Federal Reserve, and it gives you the history of money. Okay, and it starts with what? Salt. animal
where
fur.
salary from salt, yo.
Yeah. Okay. Where does that come from? The earth. Esau didn't make it, and then it gives you the long line all the way up to the paper dollar, which is nothing. It's empty. It's not backed by anything.
Right.
Okay.
The abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee.
There you go.
Let's get that in verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee.
Right. Right. And in the Christian church, they say that's Old Testament. Within the Old Testament, because there's this myth that the Old Testament is done away with. The Old Covenant is done away with. Okay? Which is how we were brought back to our Father. The mediators at that time were the high priest. Okay? They gave us a covenant. We broke that covenant. But the Old Testament, the law and the prophets contain prophecies that haven't been fulfilled yet. So how can you say that anything written in the Old Testament is not founded upon Jesus Christ? When the testimony, those things being fulfilled, is testifying of him. And he himself was written and prophesied of in the Old Testament. The whole time he was on the scene, what was he quoting out of?
Isaiah.
The law, the prophets. Why? Because the New Testament wasn't written yet. That's all he talked about. But then when we do it, they're stuck in that old. No, man.
I always say,
No,
as it is
the
written.
thing is, in the New Testament, in the book of Revelation, it says that the spirit of Jesus Christ is a spirit of prophecy. So you still got to deal with prophecies.
Nigga.
Come on, man. I mean, but hey, if you don't have a thought process of the prophecies, you're not gonna know what to look for.
Right. It's all concerning him.
Right. Yep. You can't take away the narrative of the Israelites. Think you're gonna throw away everything in the Old Testament and start in Matthew and get the Bible. No. It don't work like that.
Absolutely not.
You gotta know history. Okay? Because the Bible is dealing with a chosen lineage through Adam, through Seth. Okay? Eventually through Noah, through Shem, through Arphaxad, all the way up to Abraham, who had Isaac and Jacob. That's how the lineage of the chosen people was tracked. And just because in the New Testament they were called Gentiles, don't mean somehow the narrative changed. Right. Now they talking about the chosen seed. This book tracks a chosen lineage, man. Point blank period. The Messiah himself came out of that lineage. So all of a sudden you get to the new, when Yahushua comes, and all of a sudden it ain't about Israel no more.
Right.
All of the prophecies we were reading, the heathen, somehow now they have joint inheritance with the Israelites, which is crazy.
Right.
Even amongst tribes, you can't switch tribes. Judah can't somehow get inheritance right in Manasseh. Okay?
Lands rights are tied to that.
Lands, but somehow the heathen, nah, man, go ahead.
I had a preach something. St. Luke 24:44, and he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled which were written in the law of Moses, and in the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me.
That in the Old Testament, right? The volume of the book. It was that the whole book is about the same thing. I would say, what book have you ever started to read at the beginning? By the middle of the book, it's a completely different story. Right? You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that. You're not gonna be watching a movie about the Godfather, and then all of a sudden you see Daffy Duck and shit. Like, it don't work like that. It's talking about the Godfather the whole way through. It's talking about the Israelites the whole way through.
John Wick. Yep. And they listening, and they like, oh shit. Now everybody is scholar. The Israelites have revolutionized the Bible through the Spirit, the power of Yahweh Shai. Everybody want to get into the Bible now.
Yeah.
Everybody want to talk about who Esau is. You niggas wasn't talking about that. Habakkuk. We didn't. Habakkuk. I ain't never hear Habakkuk. Obadiah. I ain't never heard of that.
You couldn't find it in the Bible.
Yeah.
So now that it's being brought out, we're hateful and no, it's prophecy, baby, and it's getting ready to meet all. It's already here, but it's getting ready to meet you all in the face. And that's the beautiful thing about prophecy, is that it ain't gonna go out void. Right. Now we have to suffer through the ridicule and the incredulity as it's being fulfilled. But what's on our side is the fact that it's being fulfilled.
Okay, so Isaiah 42:9. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them.
Ain't nobody say that they wasn't warned, man. It ain't gonna be nobody that's gonna be able to say that they wasn't warned. Now, especially when it comes to the prophecies. You see the stuff, war, evil, pestilence, all that's happening right now, right? I would say Turkey, Iran, all the moving parts. Everybody in Ezekiel chapter 38 is all moving into place, right? Meanwhile, ain't nobody paying no attention to them. They want to see how loud they can rev their engine, right? All these different things. But whether you believe it or not, this Bible is happening.
Right, get that song, that scripture we have hyped.
Yeah, man. I was saying you can think this Bible ain't happening all day, but it is.
Right. And they just look at us. They don't want to, based on how we look, they don't want us to be right. They don't want us to be right. But guess what? Somebody got to be right.
Exactly. Right.
Because you think the Most High created this beautiful vessel of earth and ain't going to give any explanation of why and what's next?
Can't
Right.
argue against prophecy either, man. What we saying is actually happening, man.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I was saying you would think that everybody you see downtown would be either right here, right there, or right there.
Yeah, 3 camps.
They walking right by like it ain't nothing.
right.
Yeah, like it ain't nothing. But that's what I'm saying. All these people finna get hit upside the head with something. You know?
Yep.
If somebody knew the future, man, I don't want to listen to what they had to say.
Like Noah.
Yeah.
Noah was given insight to
Right,
the future.
yeah, right.
And he acted accordingly.
Yep.
People should have listened to Noah.
Right. And then look at Enoch. Well, Enoch, I would say Enoch was going so hard, the Lord said, you know what, let me go and get him up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Same with Elijah. I'm about to do something. So he snatches me up out of there. You know what I'm saying? We hope to come in that stead.
Wall Street, Esau doesn't have insider trading on stocks. They don't just man their hand. No, they get in on there so they can hit.
Yeah.
We tell the elect, hey, get in this so you can hit.
That's right. Righteousness is in. You should be looking at the earth disgusted.
Right.
You should be looking at the earth like, oh Lord, how can I raise a child here?
Right.
Like, what am I going to do?
Right.
Like, damn. Okay?
That's an issue with
So
you. If you
being wicked, being a bad bitch and all that, that should be
being a thug, a gangster, all that shit's playing out.
All
man.
these niggas, every week, a rapper is just dying.
Yo, a nigga just died.
It's like
2
you
days ago.
see a nigga die, a rapper dead, that's just like drinking a cup of water.
Yeah.
Taking a shit, oh, okay.
yeah.
Flush.
Right. No coming back for him.
You know,
Go back to eating
niggas,
your
that
dinner.
lifestyle, what you speak, eventually comes back onto you. Black culture is the most destructive way to live your life.
Wild Wild West.
It is the so-called white man's science experiment.
Right.
That's what black culture is. And it's failed. You should be looking to come into a new culture, a new way of living. And it happens via the Holy Spirit, man. Okay? Go ahead.
So, okay. Matthew 11:16. It says, but whereunto shall I liken this generation?
Right.
It is like unto children sitting in the markets.
Right. Well, whereunto shall I liken this generation? He just probably standing with his disciples, looking at niggas in Rome, just or wherever, doing wickedness, wherever they were. He's like, whereunto how should I liken this generation? Because within Israel, there's a generation of the righteous, and there's a generation of the wicked. Okay? Everybody always comes back in their lot. That's why Yahushua constantly harped on the scribes and Pharisees being a wicked generation. Because they're the ones who killed the prophets. He said, you bear witness that ye are the children of them who kills the prophets. Fill ye then the measure of your fathers. So a nigga is gonna nig. Okay? Go ahead.
But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows and saying, we have piped unto you,
Right.
and ye have not danced.
Right. Now this goes back to an ancient custom where children would go to the particular marketplaces and they would like sing songs. And people, usually would come around and, cheer them on, help them out maybe. But if people didn't come, it was kind of like a disrespectful, like, damn, it's children. Why sometimes you got an attitude in the Salvation Army, little kid walking, you're like, nigga, man. But I ignore them niggas all the time. That's a scam. This nigga come up to you with fucking dookie braids, with barrettes, that you buy some of my cookies for my, man, hell no. Every blue moon, you feel
I
like
do
some
sometimes.
cookies.
And now they got the cash out too. The
Yeah.
one youngin, I said, I ain't got no cash. Look, your
Yeah,
homie,
yeah.
he's like, I got the cash out.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I threw him $5.
Right,
they
but
on
to
point.
hell with that. This is, I'm just saying, what we're singing matters, man. This is the new song, man. Read that again.
Verse 17, it says, in saying, we have piped unto you,
Right,
and ye have not danced.
right. The people will come around and dance, clap, cheer them on. You know, people who are walking through the marketplaces and going, you know, shopping, you walk out and you can hear a beautiful song. Okay? Go ahead.
We have mourned unto you,
Right.
and ye have not lamented.
Right, we are mourning, we're piping unto you. We're singing the new song, a new way of life, the fact that you're chosen. You're not a color. Niggas are marching around saying, my life matters. Do you realize how dumbed down you gotta be to cry to the white man that your life matters? But then when you look into niggas' lives, okay, like you'll see a nigga get wrestled down by the police, or shot down by the police. And then everybody's crying for this nigga. But then when you go and look what they did, or how they was living their life, it's like George Floyd, that stud that Styles P was standing up for. This nigga tried to get on a moped and run from the police. And she get wrestled down by the police, and somehow the police are wrong.
It wouldn't have got to that if she had just complied.
You're gonna run, you don't have your license, you effed up.
Just take the ticket.
You just gotta take the ticket, okay? Agree with thine adversary. Move on to the next day. This nigga with a fucking mask around her chin gets on a moped
like that shit
and try to run like you gonna escape.
Got caught.
Yeah,
Got caught.
first you a stud.
You're stud. They're always slow.
Studs are slow.
And uncoordinated too.
You know, stud movement. Studs ain't got off balance, man. Ain't no stud do what Barry Sanders did, right?
She ain't got no balance, man.
Brittany Griner can't do what LeBron James does. That may be a man.
She can't do what LeBron knows.
Right, now what we at?
Continuing on.
Yeah, start over.
Matthew 11 and 16. But whereunto shall I liken this generation?
Right.
It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows,
Right.
and saying, we have piped unto you.
Right, they're calling her to him like, damn, y'all ain't effing with us?
Yeah.
Y'all ain't gonna stop today? We came up with a new song. Like, we came up with this new song. Y'all wanna hear it? Here it go. Go ahead.
We have piped unto you, and ye have not danced.
Right.
We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented.
You ain't lamenting.
That's why our blood ain't gonna be on our, your blood ain't gonna be on our hands.
Right. And see, what you do fight for and what you do lament for, it's given unto you by the white man. He tells you what cause to fight for. He tells you what to call yourself. He puts in the news what to get mad about. He pretty much is luring you in to his trap.
Everything that the nigga says
Right.
is just a remix of what Esau's told.
Right.
It's never you know, what the Lord has said.
Right.
It's always a reiteration of what Esau said.
Right. The fact that they call themselves black, African American, Black Lives Matter, mad that mad at Trump. Somehow Trump is the worst Edomite ever to a nigga.
No.
Like, what did he do that everybody else ain't never did? Right. You showed the niggas were mad. Oh, he grabbed pussy. You danced to Lil Wayne and Too Short. Right. Right. Well, we were at the bar, right? And we were looking at niggas, and the song came on. When I met you last night, lady, before you opened up your gap. Every nigga was dancing.
Right.
And you even licked my, you know. But the Trump comes and he grabs some pussy. That's the worst, because you niggas are controlled by the media. Right. That you mad at him because the so-called white man told you to be mad at him. To get you into that confusion that has nothing to do with you. You're supposed to be looking at politics laughing.
It's a wrestling match.
You're supposed to be looking at politics like,
WWF.
damn, if I was in their position, I would do better than them. Yahweh Shai's kingdom is going to be better than them.
Right.
You ain't supposed to think that this system is going to, after all that happened to you, you're still under this impression that the white man voting and getting it to him is going to help you?
You You don't vote, you can't complain.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
They
You
say,
pay
yeah,
taxes.
right.
That lesser of two evils mindset. We get you to slave mentality, y'all.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
At some point, stop choosing evil, period. The lesser of two evils. And Biden is far worse. He's nasty, he's senile, he may be dead. He's creepy, putting his nose on a little kid. He's the worst kind of nigga. I miss Trump now.
I have more money actually when Trump
Although
was
he's,
running.
you know, he's for a
I
good
was coming up
cause
when Trump was in there, man.
because he helps property.
Yeah.
But it's like when a Republican is in office, at least you get a cool tax return
You come up, man.
and money. There's money flowing,
Yep.
opportunity.
Yep.
Democrats is always on the
There's always some bullshit with the Democrats.
Shit just start getting prices increase.
Democrat.
Historically, democracies have led to the worst tyrannies ever. Look at what's coming now. Okay? Through what? Manipulating the people's minds. Okay, and giving them a false cause to fight for.
Right.
Niggas are at the front of every march. Whether it be I want to sleep with animals, whether it be I can be all I can be, anything that Esau puts in the news as an agenda, Jake is there.
Just say if Ukraine.
And it becomes your culture, it becomes what you speak, it becomes what you teach your children. Yep. Any good precept from the comic book you read out? See one. Read it. Call out the person's name too.
GMS Spiritual Art 144.
Super chat. Let's read some super chats.
Salaki. He had one of those.
And if we did that, you know, people would probably, but we ain't about that. Okay?
All right, this is Spiritual Ark 144. Put Isaiah 34:16. It says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate.
And see, y'all fighting against the Lord. When you saying that ain't gonna be no slaves, and when you try to talk about heaven without the throne of David, eventually you're gonna be met with reality. It's gonna happen. Okay? Go ahead.
For my mouth it had commanded, and his spirit it had gathered them.
His mouth had commanded. And what is his mouth? His word.
Right.
Okay, which is Yahweh, is all fulfilled in his son.
Right.
Everything he wanted done in heaven on earth, he did it through his son.
Right.
Okay, when he had this vessel called earth created, all right, through the 7 1,000-year periods, it wasn't one day. Okay, that was for his son and the sons of God to eventually come on earth and rule. But he had a story for it. So within it, the heathen would rule. It would come to imperfection. Okay? But overall, the second Adam is going to return to that land and rule, man. Okay? That's going to happen. That's the Lord's determination. Okay?
This too. This GMS in the truth Orlando, Shalom. It's Malachi 3:6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
And see, what they want to tell you is that the Lord does change. What they want to tell you is that now all nations can inherit that promise. So basically, they're telling you the Lord changes, but the Lord is a liar.
Right.
And see, that's their hope, is that the Lord is a liar, and our hope is that the Lord is true. And we're going to see very soon whose side he's on. That's where we at with it. We ain't going and knocking down the Christian. I don't want to see no goddamn Christian pastor. Them niggas make me sick when I see them. I get mad when a Christian pastor. The worst kind of nigga, man. All right?
Yeah, it's some heat on her.
Go back to Isaiah.
Back in Isaiah 14:4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
See, we're going to take up a proverb against the king of Babylon. Read above that. Read into it.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
Did not we serve bondage here in America? Did not we serve bondage throughout the four corners of the earth? What we're telling you is there's a reason for that. But there's another side to that too, where the Lord is going to return our captivity. Go ahead.
That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon,
Right.
and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
See, in Egypt, we were singing victory over Pharaoh. Okay, well, in the kingdom, we're going to be singing victory over Esau,
Right.
and the heathen. Okay? Somebody get Revelation 15 and 1 real quick. Okay?
Revelation chapter 15, verse 1.
Exodus 15.
And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High.
Right.
And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire.
This is John the Revelator seeing a vision of us actually being delivered and how it looks. Go ahead.
And them that had gotten the victory over the beast,
Of the beast,
and over his image,
Uh-huh.
and over his mark, and over the number of his
Right.
name.
Now, I heard the watchmen for Israel are teaching that you can take a charagma and the Lord can have mercy on you. All right? So those dudes are agents. Right here, and even in Revelation 20, it said that they were beheaded for not taking it.
Right.
So how much more, what would they be teaching the people? They'd be teaching the people that mindset. Go ahead. Don't take no damn charagma, man. Don't let this man put nothing right in you, man.
Period.
Period. Trust in the Lord, man. That's the advice. No, it ain't no retirement plan if it don't work out. We going all balls out, man.
That's right.
Okay? If we die, we come back in the kingdom. You got to start believing on a higher level, man.
Right.
This ain't good. This victory ain't coming to no low-level nigga just standing around, man. Go ahead.
First Maccabees 2 and 50. Now therefore, my sons, be zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
There you go.
You know, during our hour of tribulation, hey,
That's the mindset we push.
victory, man. We got to be willing to give our lives, man. Put it all on the line. We all balls to the wall, man. It ain't no plan B. It ain't no second option with us, man. You know.
Hey, you know what? In the generations, with the disciples and other Israelites, they gave their lives.
There you go.
Okay. And also knowing that the kingdom wasn't coming in their time when it was told to them.
Yes. Yes.
So ultimately they knew. At first they didn't know.
The mother with the 7 children.
Right. Ultimately they knew, okay, I'm gonna have to die this generation and come back in the kingdom, or come back in another generation and still come back to the kingdom.
That's being spiritual.
That's spiritual. That's
Not,
deep.
not listening to Erica
Right.
Badu.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That's being in the spirit. Okay, now her music sounds alright, no lie, but being spiritual, that mindset, meaning what I'm doing now is for my children on down.
Bro, man,
So you walk in a particular manner.
that's faith. That's how you walk by faith and not by sight. Because the sight, you like, okay, we still hear it.
Right.
You got to think deep. You got to think further off, man.
Right.
Of what's coming.
And back in Revelation chapter 15, verse 2, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast,
Right.
and over his image, and over his mark.
Right. Basically, the chariot, we're going to be able to look down at the destruction that's going on from the chariot. We ain't going to have these eyes. The Lord may be able to X. You may be able to hone in on that bitch. You know? If somebody want to, you going to see the judgment. You're going to know who's who. You're going to be looking down like, oh, woo. New body celebrating.
That's cold-blooded.
Now, the Rothschilds did that with 9/11. They were watching damn, you know? Well, we gonna have front row seats. That's Psalms 91. Go ahead.
And over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass.
Victory over the beast, over his image, over his mark. A lot of Israel is asking, well, how and what? It's written. We're reading the victory. Go ahead.
Having the hearts of the Most High.
Right.
And they sing the song of Moses.
They sung the song of Moses. We're going to be up there singing the song of victory. Okay? Some more.
And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of the Most High, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works.
Right.
Lord,
We're going to be like, whoa. It's going to be so miraculous. We're going to have to sing. We're going to be singing like, woo. We're going to be singing like, that was what he just did. Like, this, we whoa.
And then that's when our tribulation's gonna look like light things. That little uncomfortable
Waking up out of
shit,
that dream.
irritated. Right.
Now, real quick, read this real quick, and we're going to read the Song of Moses. Now, there's 3 songs of Moses. One in Deuteronomy 32. There's one in another chapter, and then there's this one in Exodus. After Pharaoh was swallowed up, Moses, okay, Aaron, and then eventually Miriam, I think she had a solo, okay? But they sung songs like, it was so miraculous, like they had to go ahead.
So Exodus 15:1, right, it reads, Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider.
Right. Read that again.
The horse and his rider.
The horse and his rider, go ahead.
Hath he thrown into the sea.
The horse and his rider have he thrown into the sea. Go ahead.
The Lord.
Hold up, go ahead.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
There was a red horse, and power was given unto him that sat thereon. That's basically interchangeable with Pharaoh.
Right.
Which you Edomites are the modern day Pharaohs. Right. The horse and his rider, at that time, were drowned in the sea. This time, you're going to be ultimately scattered, burned up here in America, and your elites are going to go flee into the bunkers. Right. And they're going to have just enough food, wine, slaves, and everything under there just to survive until we come back down and set up shop. This is what we're telling you that's coming. It sounds crazy, but how crazy is what this devil got planned?
Right.
Okay? To put a charagma in everybody and set up smart cities. That's feasible? What we're saying is crazy, but this nigga is talking about tracking your carbon footprint throughout the whole entire planet Earth. And you're okay with that?
Try to make it a hybrid.
No, now it's the internet of bodies.
Yeah. Transhumanism, man.
Yeah, you're gonna be the phone.
Right.
So that's cool. But setting up righteousness on the earth and Esau losing is just far out. And that's really why they mad. Because Esau loses. If we were up here saying Esau's alright, they wouldn't give 2 shits about what we're saying.
Exactly.
Yes. Nobody ever asked about Moab.
No.
Okay?
Continuing on verse 2. The Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. He is my power, and I will prepare him in a habitation.
Right. This is a song. Now read down to like 20 something where he says, Edom. And he brings up Edom. Yep. Start at 14. Start at 13. Because we're going to be singing a similar song on the chariot. Go ahead.
Exodus 15:13, it reads, Thou in thy mercy hast led, thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed.
And how did he do it? Via his angel. Right. The angel that was responsible for those miraculous works. Yeah. You can't take, like Israel, try to just throw the angel away. You bring up Moses and Joshua and swallowing others, but the angel ain't got nothing to do with it.
Matter of fact, the angel is the one that made one side light where the Israelites could go through and made the other side dark. Right.
Which had actually happened, Jephthah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it wasn't symbolic.
It wasn't just symbolic. Because Jake don't want to, Jake is scared to believe on that level.
Jake don't want to deal with the miracles, man. Faithless.
Yep, go ahead.
Thou hast guided them in thy strength unto the holy habitation.
Right.
The people shall hear and be afraid.
Right.
Sorrow shall take hold of the inhabitants of Palestina. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed.
The dukes of Edom shall be amazed. They gonna go flee into the bunkers. That's in the song. Go ahead.
The mighty men of Moab, trembling, shall shake hold upon them.
Right. Now you want to know what's bad about that? Those are the same nations David sung about. And Moab, the Philistines, and the Edomites. When he got them down, he sung about that. Like he was happy to have them. They're mentioned here in the Song of Moses. Okay? Now, let's go back to Isaiah 14, unless you got something. Go ahead.
Isaiah 14:5, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
Right.
He will smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
Right. He who smote the people in wrath with the continuous smoke. We're going to be singing. Read that part where it said we would boasted against the Lord. Take up this proverb. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Verse 4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? Woo! The golden city ceased.
The golden city. Which, how could you link that? Revelation.
Right.
The 18th chapter. Okay? It's all linked together. And who rules Babylon is the Edomites. It's not just Babylon. There's a people, a nation of people who run Babylon.
Right. Psalms 137 show you that. Oh, yeah. Back in verse 6, he who smote the people with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger.
That's your Edomites. You're now going to be persecuted. It's going to be a great day to see you Edomites lose, man. And you deserve it. You went throughout the four corners of the earth, destroying every damn body. Destroying cultures, okay, lying, false flag wars, just complete, utter wickedness. And the earth is in a state where they're saying within the next 10 years, humanity can be extinct. What is that all about? Everybody got diseases. Animals are depressed. People are having sex with animals. This is not a good rulership, man. Okay? So you smoke the people in wrath. Constant war. You never stop. Okay? Right now, there's somebody being bombed. Literally every 2 minutes, somebody in the Middle East is being bombed to smithereens. Go ahead.
He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth.
And none hindering. Nobody stops you.
Right.
Okay? Now, let's see the Lord, because what are we going to do? The Lord made it to where you're going to fight each other.
Right. Allies going to back away from it. Satan to get Satan.
Yeah, it's Satan against Satan.
Yep.
All we doing is speaking it, but the Lord are going to use your own elites first, because they're crashing the economy, to pretty much send everything into chaos, and then the Russians go come against you, the EU go turn on one another, and everybody going to have an evil eye towards Babylon. We win. All right, go ahead.
That's song of victory right here. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet.
Woo.
They break forth into singing.
We're going to be singing.
Yep.
Everything. Yep. And that's a part of our culture, man.
That's right. That's right.
Okay? Niggas just singing the wrong song.
Right.
It's either wickedness or your big ass cousin who can sing on Sunday. She get up, right when the cake and the cornbread and the pies get ready to be done, and she can stand up and sing, act like she don't want to.
Nigga behind her with a tambourine.
Sing, Vanessa.
Yeah.
She stand her big ass in the living room and sing to Sweet Jesus, man. And then you niggas eat a feast of absolute failure.
Abomination.
Okay?
Lobster mac.
Lobster mac.
They love that lobster mac.
Niggas will put bacon in potato salad.
I fuck the greens up instead of using turkey wings.
Yeah. And why did niggas cook greens for so long? Like, what was that all? Because now I cook greens. The best.
Bro,
y'all have my greens, right?
I just found out you could fry greens.
Yeah, but now I'm talking about my greens.
But yeah, I had your greens.
You got something going?
You got it. But greens don't take that.
Don't take that goddamn long. Niggas started cooking greens at 4 in the morning. And it wasn't until like, well, what the fuck were you doing?
It's just slime, man. You made some green soup, liquid green.
With a big foot in there.
Man, that's all you taste.
So niggas need to be stopped. We ain't pity patting with niggas. Niggas gotta be stopped.
They gotta go, man.
Okay? And see, vocab will be happy if we were all in that spirit. That's what they don't care when you're in that spirit.
Right.
Okay? Isaiah, go back.
Isaiah 14 and 8. It says, yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon sing.
And that's symbolic of the elect too. But the earth is literally going to be singing. It's going to sing through life being able to flourish again. Okay? That don't mean a tree is going to be like a California raisin in the kingdom, spinning around. It's just my imagination. No, man. But in a sense, the earth, like being back in its order, is singing. It's a song.
Right. A tree can be a tree again.
The ecosystem's going to be restored back to its natural state.
Exactly.
You know?
Balance.
That's right.
Man, and there's music. The Lord, every wind is music.
Trees. Yes.
Birds chirping is music.
Yep. Water running.
So imagine
Especially where I
paradise.
live, them damn birds in the morning, you wake me up. Now. Go ahead.
It's 2nd Ezra chapter 11 and 45, and therefore,
I was trying to block it. I couldn't block it. I was racing.
Yeah, that's a demon.
It's like a fucking fight in there, man.
You just block everything.
it says, and therefore appear no more thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads,
Right.
nor thy hurtful claws.
Right. And that's speaking of Rome, but that's going to be brought up. The revival of Rome is here. Go ahead.
Nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence.
That the earth may be refreshed. Because everything right now is tense.
Right. Stressed out.
Okay? In Japan, monkeys is just running up on children, just clawing them, harming, just running after elderly people. Everything's rebelling. Everything's mad.
Right.
The earth is fighting back.
Right, and that's because the earth is not being ran by wisdom.
Right.
29. It's being ran. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. It's ran by straight wickedness. So that's gonna make everything upside down, unbalanced, and everything they got life in it screaming. Right. In all kinds of ways. Right. You know.
Right. This earth is beautiful, man, and when ran the proper way,
Right.
you're gonna see the Lord. Wisdom is the way.
That's right.
And all of the heathen eventually gonna know, like,
Yep.
in comparison to what Esau did with the earth, because only 2 nations are promised to rule the entire planet Earth via a blessing given by Isaac. Okay, the Edomites and the Israelites. This is theirs, and look what they've done. Concrete everywhere. They made the earth a cave.
Just the wilderness. Yep.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord.
Right, the Lord is against you, okay? And he called you a destroying mountain. And this beast system is that destroying mountain, headed by America, okay, which is a member of NATO. You got the EU, that makes it a whole power structure. And the beautiful thing about it is when you look at the EU, those same states made up the ancient Rome.
Right.
So it's literally rebirthed into the earth. Now you got Canada and Babylon, okay? Added along with other states as well,
Right.
part of the EU. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, which destroys all the earth.
Right, you destroyed the whole earth. That's a horrible nigga right there, to destroy the earth, to try to conquer nature. Okay, go ahead.
And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks.
Right, he's gonna roll your ass down the rocks. And that's what you deserve, okay? And that's a horrible, like, to be rolled down a rock, like you just losing the whole time, then eventually you get to the bottom and you dead. That's where you Edomites are headed. You're tumbling down the rock. The Lord pushed your ass like a bowling ball down a rock. You're just going down the hill and you're being exposed. You're through.
Gotta hold on.
Right.
Ain't gonna work.
Now the EU is all divided. Okay, so what does that mean? More prophecy being coming to pass, and we win. Okay, the things that are happening in the earth ain't just willy-nilly things. This is the time you should be watching.
Right.
Okay, listening, to the prophets, because the prophets was the best thing going in the ancient world for Israel.
That's right.
Israel always went to the priest and the prophet.
Watch you.
Okay,
Right.
the kings were subject to the prophet.
Right. That's right.
Okay? So now the Lord has given you prophets. That's an extension of mercy unto you.
Right.
But they don't want to hear the song. All right? But the remnant do. And that's all we're worried about. Go ahead.
And will make thee a burnt mountain.
He's going to make you a burnt mountain. Okay? What does it say? Read that. I think I'll read that.
Verse 26. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations. But thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord.
Right. Nobody's going to look to you for guidance. America's going to be done. And see, when America falls, that's going to collapse the whole world.
See?
Okay?
Everybody depends on the Lord.
Yep. Keep going.
Set ye up a standard in the land. Blow the trumpet among the nations.
Blow the trumpet among the nations. And that's what we're doing. The Israelites scattered among the nations are blowing the trumpet. And things are happening. Okay, go ahead.
Prepare the nations against her.
Prepare the nations against her. That's what's happening right now. Go ahead.
Called together against her the kingdoms of Ararat.
The kingdoms of Ararat. That's Turkey. And right now in the news, Turkey has just pretty much showed that they're going to side with Russia. Right? So Turkey, because they've been playing both sides for years. It's like they're a part of the EU, but then they're not technically, but they got all of the privileges. But they, for years, they used to beef with Russia. They're all over the place. But they just sided with Russia pretty much openly. Okay? And you have these EU countries breaking down because of the sanctions that's being put on Russia. Their economies, the EU is tumbling down the rock. Okay? And you got some nations like, man, we need to hell with Russia. You got some nations like, it's better to side with them. So what is that causing? A divide. And Turkey is mentioned in biblical prophecy, okay? Because where did the ark rest? In Ararat. That's Turkey. Okay, read that again.
Blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, many, and Ashkenaz.
Ashkenaz, Germany. Germany is pretty much losing because of those sanctions. So eventually they're going to be like to hell with Babylon. Okay? And we win. So all the things happening in the planet Earth were foretold. Okay? And for years, these weak, stupid pastors have been breaking this book down the wrong way. Now we here, and everybody got something to say. You're not going into these things, man. Okay?
Joel chapter 3, starting at verse 9. Proclaim you this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up.
Right, and all these nations are invested in military. They're not invested in agricultural. All of these nations are being built up for war. And Russia got a lot to do with that. Okay, Russia just gave Turkey $20 billion for a nuclear base. So what is Russia doing? They're making pacts with these nations. Then they're like, look, I'm gonna ante up your army. And didn't he do it in Ethiopia? He went over there and pretty much made a league with them. And what was the deal? Pretty much, I'm able to set up naval bases. I'll train your military up, but also I'm gonna bring my men over here, and they're gonna
see, because ultimately they know that this is going to come to a huge war.
Battling for positions.
Right, they know it.
The nations, right? Why you think Syria is talked about so much? There's a pipeline there. But ultimately, it's a very strategic, region to strike Iran or Turkey or Russia. Right. So America goes over there starting shit, okay? And now Turkey is like, look, I want the presence of the West out of Syria. Right there, eventually, we know through all of these particular things happening, war is coming. We ain't got to get super technical about it, but the shit is happening. Some brothers are good with that. I know it on a basic level, but I see it. But I can't break down each and every, but the simplicity in Yahweh Shai, man. It's really simple.
Nations are gathering for war.
The nations are gathering for war, and everything happening now is a result of what is written in this book. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
Right, now India historically is known as agricultural. All right, they're known for the goodies in that landmass. They're even talking about war. Okay? All of these different nations have put down the plowshare in the pruning hook, which is farming, and they're getting into missiles. All for what? The brawl for it all. World War III, which in the midst of America being destroyed, that's when the elect are going to be delivered. Go ahead.
Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Yep. You got Saudi Arabia mocking America. Yeah. Now in the 90s, would Saudi Arabia have said anything bad to America? Hell no.
They buying Russian oil right now.
North Korea talking all kind of shit. Yeah, they buying Russian oil.
Not buying oil from the U.S. right now. Right.
Yep.
And hey, that proves that these other nations are getting stronger.
Right.
Because they doing more. Right. They talking more.
Right.
There was a point in time, even with North Korea, the guy's dad who was in rulership before him, they weren't doing too much. They might say little shit, But then when he got into power, ultimately he started getting this nuclear shit ready to do. That's new stuff, man. They wasn't doing that back in the day. So the scriptures prove that they're getting stronger.
Right, they're going in.
Right.
Thing.
So it's in verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat.
Right. Now somebody get Proverbs 21:1. Because everything happening, ultimately the angels work on the mind of people. Do the bidding of the Lord. Okay?
Proverbs 21.
History itself is really dictated by Yahweh, through Yahweh Shai, through angels that come onto the earth and work and manipulate people's minds to start this war, to rule at this time, to be the slave at this time. It's all intricate movie put together by the Lord via the Holy Spirit. Right. Okay? When you go to Daniel, there's a particular point in Daniel where Michael, right, came to help work on the mind of a particular ruler, okay? And it took a while. Go ahead.
Hold on. Proving that how deep and how detailed they are.
Yeah.
They have the power just to make you do it,
Right.
but they ain't doing it. If it took time, that shows they go to the deepest,
Right.
to the point where they look, you don't even know what's happening, then boom.
Yep.
That's deep, man.
Talk about that in Isaiah 28.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 13. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia.
Right. At the time that Joseph and Mary were betrothed, who was there? Gabriel. The angels are always there.
Right.
You see? And there's angels surrounding us now.
That's right.
Pretty much making us say what we say. It's all through the
Psalm
Spirit.
34.
It's all through the Spirit.
Psalm 34.
Okay?
Right. Back in Joel.
Oh, Proverbs 21.
Proverbs 21. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
Right.
As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
So he working on Russia. They were going to be used to pretty much galvanize all these nations to forming their own beast system. It's happening right in front of your eyes. Iran,
Turkey slept on Iran too.
yeah.
They steady building up.
And they're literally mentioned in Ezekiel 38, man. Okay, so something pretty soon is going to happen with Israel, and it's going to erupt because America will always come to their aid.
Iran
It's
chopped
gonna
like the
erupt,
big to get
but
to
it's going to be
Israel.
through something that's going to happen with Israel, man.
Yep.
And Israel or Iran just threatened, or Israel just threatened to strike Iran.
They playing right
Okay?
into their hands.
So the Lord, right now, okay, because you have angels bound in the river Euphrates,
Yep.
okay? Literally, that's written. Somebody get that. Read that again.
Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will.
Right, because you would think Esau, with all of the influence, all of the money, all of the control, everything, he got everything he wants. Why don't he stop? The Lord ain't gonna make him to stop.
Right.
Okay? Why do we keep coming out here? You think this is happening by your own power? You're a fool. This is the spirits doing this.
Right.
We ain't never been this dedicated to any goddamn thing.
Right.
Okay, this is the spirit. This is angels doing this. We just we have this treasure in earthen vessels. But this gotta be the spirit. Me? Bro, some brothers got lazy demons. Brothers be, man. If it was our will, like, bro. It's gotta be the Lord. Every week, for years. No, come on, man.
I'm like, shit, I'll be out of town.
Bro, I wouldn't even be in America. I'll be out of this bitch. I'll be somewhere with $100, and $100 would be $1 million over there. With a bunch of women, right? Sure, I would not be in America if I wasn't in this truth. But the Lord said we're going to be delivered out of Babylon. If you flee, if you're a demon, you're going to be destroyed anyway.
Right.
Which is the river Euphrates. It's Revelation 9:13. It says, "And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before the Most High, saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, loosed the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates.
So why do you think there's so much friction going on in the Middle East? The angels are working on the minds of the leaders. Point blank period. In the river Euphrates, go ahead.
And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men.
Which is the Edomites, to take out the Edomite rulership. You got the sons of God, the sons of men, and the sons of the wicked. Esau fulfills the third part of men. This war is all happening to end his rulership on the planet Earth. That's what's happening right now. The final heathen rulership, the revival of the 4th beast is getting ready to be taken down. Now there's another one, right? We'll talk about dry. You got it? Yeah, because man, this book is it.
Yeah, it mentioned it dried
That
up.
is dried up, and that's happening.
That river goes through, if you look at the map, it goes through, you got Turkey, Iraq.
Yes.
It just travels all the way
Yep,
down
yep,
there.
yep.
So when you think about those angels,
Right.
they gathered them there, all these wars, all these different things, but gathering these nations there, then as soon as they got them where they want them, they're gonna get loose.
They gonna
They're
loose.
working their mind on
They're
something
working on their
crazy.
mind to
Right. Yeah.
Man, it's happening. It's happening.
Right.
Go ahead.
This is Revelation 16 and 12. And the 6th angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates.
So the angel, the plagues that are happening on the earth, is through the Most High, it's through Yahweh Shai, but there are particular angels in their order that got you go poison the water, you go put the spirit on, you know? Right. And it's all orchestrated by the Most High. Okay, go ahead.
And the water thereof was dried up.
Now, it's not the Euphrates. Somebody type in Euphrates River dried up. Okay, y'all, you can keep reading. So the Euphrates River was prophesied to dry up. Not only is the Euphrates River is drying up, the Tigris River is drying up. Okay? And keep going.
It says, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be
The
prepared.
way of the kings of the east might be prepared. Now, the kings of the east is starting with Russia. Gog is pretty much going to be the head of this all. Okay, that's why the feet of the image in Revelation 13 was as a bear. That Russian bear is going to be used to gather all these nations, turning even EU countries and NATO countries against Babylon. Okay, and the Euphrates River is dried up, and Turkey troops and Russian troops, okay, built little bridges and started going over and setting up military bases. Okay, this is happening in real life. Okay, there's a video on YouTube. You type it in. Russian troops are literally going through the river Euphrates when it was dried up. They built a little bridge and went over it. So these things are happening on the planet Earth, man. It's not a game, man. All right, go back.
Yeah, some more. Joel chapter 3, back at
Joel 3 is a beautiful chapter.
back at 12.
Hey, when you read this chapter at the beginning, it tells you he's doing all this because of what they did to us.
Right, when you read it. Right.
Right?
That's right.
Which is for his name's sake, first and foremost, and his son, but because of what happened to us. Go ahead.
Joel 3, chapter 12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of the Yahweh, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Woo. Put you in the sickle.
Yahweh Shabbat.
Right.
Yahweh's judgment. Showing you the name of the Lord is in the Bible, Nate. What is that word in the Hebrew? Yahweh. Shabbat is judgment. The final decision is going to be made through starting with World War III. And before that, on the planet Earth, it's going to be civil unrest, all manner of evil, as the people are going to see the elites are trying to establish the NWO. They're not going to be hiding it no more. They're going to be telling you, nigga, this is what you're going to do. Nigga, this is what you're going to put in you. Yep. It's going to be all hell. And I don't know where we going to be. How's that going to be? What the elect? Because the elect going to be delivered. Where they going to be? How they going to survive this day?
That's what said, boys me in those days. Who shall deliver me in those days?
Strong tower, wherever it may be.
Right. You're going to be good.
Yep.
We're going to go through points, but the Lord going to always do something.
Right.
We're going to raise people from the dead. We're going to be amongst you. You're going to be like, whoa,
Right.
watch. And if you don't believe on that level, you got to pray to the Lord, man.
Right.
Because faith is the driving force behind everything we're doing.
It is.
Okay?
That's right. Back in verse 13, put you in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for the wickedness is great.
Yeah. It's time.
Right.
Right.
So right there, when you think about it, you meditate on this, you got all the militaries getting gathered over there for that great war, that great battle, and wickedness on the earth at an all-time high. That shows you that you're here.
Right.
And then Jake waking up all across the world. Come on, man. You can't make that up, man. This is the end, no doubt about it.
Esau, everything that you see happen is a psyop.
Right.
This whole Biden administration has been a war on your mind. Okay? They're literally trying to scare people into submission. Okay? Everything that is all BS. But they're getting ready to release all manner of what CERN, whatever CERN did, gave them some type of demon power it got hotter. Yeah. People got weird, people are attacking each other, all manner of people, just monkeys going crazy.
Yep.
You know?
Facts.
Gargling gland, shooting sperm.
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
Verse 14, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision.
Decision, meaning the Lord, this is where that story, within the story, the Lord makes his decision. Right. It's going to be a bloodbath. And he's going to use you to fight each other, then go dip us up out of here.
Right. Verse 15, it said, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
Right. Because of the darkness, the smoke,
The Lord also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be with the hope. Ooh, you know what? Let me start over this. The Lord also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will be the hope of his people. Woo! And the strength of the children of Israel.
Going on.
Come on. Verse 17. So shall you know that I am the Lord your God, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore.
No strangers ain't gonna pass through.
Man. All that hell breaking loose.
All right.
It goes back to Psalm 91, we quoted earlier.
It's going to lead us out of the chaos like it did in Egypt. All the plagues, killing the firstborn, all that. He was protected this time, so we're singing for this time.
Yep, somebody get Revelation 20 and 7.
20 and 7. Revelation 20 and 7. It reads, and when the 1,000 years are expired.
When 1,000 years are expired, okay, now this is speaking of pretty much the Renaissance period, that started the rebirth of Rome.
Right.
That's when Rome was really started to be reborn. It was complete. It was completely healed through America, all right, NATO, all right, the European Union being established. But the start of it being healed was the Renaissance. What did the Renaissance bring back? It was the rebirth of the Roman way of life, the Roman art, culture,
spirit, philosophy, the ruler, witchcraft, food,
The image started to live again, starting then. Okay, so when 1,000 years that he was in captivity, Byzantine Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire ruled. Jake,
the Holy Roman Empire.
It's called the Holy Roman Empire, although they were going off. Okay, but go ahead.
Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Okay, now is this talking about a mythical character who the Lord, all right, your time's up. Come on, Satan.
Yeah.
He had life.
You're free to go.
He had life, but he's free to go. Satan, hey, me? For real? After all I did? He's just free. He's just free into the earth. You're going to find his old side, bitch. I'm back. Satan, oh my God, Satan free.
He already got a setup waiting.
Right, nigga do a whole reality show speaking on his experience. No. That's talking about Esau coming up out of that captivity he was in when he was looked at as a caveman.
Right.
Okay?
The people who's coming is after the working of Satan.
2 Thessalonians. Right. It tells you that. He who's coming is after the working of Satan. with all power and signs and lying.
Physical counterpart to the spiritual demon.
So that's Esau. Go ahead.
Continue on verse 8. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth.
See, he went out. See, once he was loose, what did he do? He got power and he went everywhere and spread wine, wrath, war,
Painted that
hatred.
false image of the Lord.
Yep. Painted the false image of the Lord.
Time, all kinds of stuff. Yep.
Changed times, laws.
Manipulated calendars. Yeah.
Yeah. Made the calendar to be based upon the sun and not the moon. He just turned everything back. Made you right from left to right.
Left to right. Yeah.
Slave Bible.
Yeah.
Slave Bible, yeah.
It was like he was rushing to get it done. Like
He had to.
because he knows he had that little
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
It's basically Cain at work.
Yeah.
So he went through the four corners of the earth, starting war, spreading the red horse. He took peace from the earth. Go ahead.
Continuing on. Which are the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog.
Gog and Magog. Immediately, this is what it leads to. Okay? His works is going to lead to all of the nations gathering on the Gog and Magog to shoot missiles on America. And they're going to shoot missiles on where the small hats at, over in Jerusalem. That's going to be another land that's going to be blown to smithereens. But that's going to be rebuilt.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
To gather them together to battle,
Right.
the number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
They're being gathered, all right, because that was Esau's little season. He had a little season, like you said, to do everything he did. And boy, did he do it. He went hard. He colonized, he conquered, he pillaged, he raped, he did everything the devil would do.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's led to the point where the Lord is getting ready to start a war to end the whole system.
Right.
Okay? The beast system is going to all be defunct through this war. Go ahead.
And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about.
Right, so they're going to come after the saints. Right at that point, all right, when missiles get ready to hit America, okay, there's going to be an insurrection. They're going to be coming after the Israelites, man. Because that's it. That's their last chance. So wherever we at, they're going to be, however it happened, they're going to be coming after us. Go ahead.
And the beloved city, and fire came down.
They come after the beloved city. Go ahead. And what happened?
And fire came down from Yahweh out of heaven and devoured them.
So right when they come, when the enemy shall come like a flood, pretty much the Lord gonna work a work. It was just in time. That's why the scriptures say the righteous shall be scarcely saved.
Yeah.
Okay? And who is he gonna be coming after? The beloved city. That's Jerusalem. That's the elect.
Jacob's trouble.
Where there's a connection with our power, okay, amongst the elect, the spiritual temple. And wherever they are is likened unto Jerusalem. So wherever they are, he got a covering for you.
Right.
Okay? And ultimately, through all of the plagues, through all of the hell, it's Jacob's trouble, but he's going to be saved out of it.
All right. So that's Psalm 91.
Yep. Go ahead. Yep.
Psalm 91, starting at verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. Surely He will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noise and pestilence.
Right. He's going to deliver us. Okay? That's destruction taking place. Okay? The Lord even put the spirit on the elite to build those bunkers. Right. That's happening for prophecy's sake. Go ahead.
He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
His truth, right? And he goes spread his wings over us. That's those chariots. Okay, those angels, man. They're gonna put us in positions to where nobody can do. They can make you. They can roll on you, and they can't see you. They bust in the house. You know what I'm saying? And the angel you just like they walk in the house and look. You go in the refrigerator, you can drink your fucking water and leave, and you just sitting there.
Shoot you with their military arsenal, all the bullets stop in there, like the Matrix, turn around.
Boom, standard. It's going to be a standard lifted up.
That's right.
Somebody get that in Isaiah 59. Go ahead.
That's right. Verse 5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day.
Missiles. Okay?
nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee.
It's not going to touch you.
Yeah,
That's
all
power.
around us.
And if you got to believe that, though.
That's fake.
That's the thing. That's written. But do you believe that?
Right.
See, if you don't believe it and you doubt, it's going to come to you. You ain't going to get it. All right? So that's why you got to pray to the Lord for a stronger faith, man.
Got to. Got to.
All right? And he rose. The Lord rose. That alone, if you believe that, nothing should be impossible to you.
Right.
That thought alone makes you immortal.
Yes. That's right. You know, even the disciples understood when they were at the spirit, they were not puffed up, and they said, increase my faith. Okay, my unbelief, increase that so I can have more faith. They understood that, you know?
We're in a position, we're like, how can we win?
Right.
But by some miraculous
That's right.
Verse 8, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord
we're
Yahweh.
going to see the reward of the wicked.
Right.
See? All them weak ass niggas, haters. You know, Jake always got haters. You're going to be able to see if the Lord, you know, if you don't deliver them, all your enemies from, you know, particular people did shit to you in past lives. You don't know why you don't like them, but there's particular people like the Lord is going to judge them specifically for what they did to you.
Right.
So you going to, you know, go ahead.
It said, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee,
Right.
to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone.
The angels is going to have charge over you. And they know where you at. They're able to look, see where they elect.
That's right. And we all got assigned angels, so they're already around you because they're assigned to guide you to the kingdom. If you're elect.
What's that precept in Matthew where the angels, I believe it's in Matthew 18, where the angels pretty much, when you repent, or there's an angel watching, something. Angels do watch you. There's a particular angel watching you.
Right.
They call it a guardian angel, but the angels do behold the face. Type in behold the face in the it's in Matthew. Go ahead.
It says, back at verse 11, for he shall give his angels charge over thee.
Can we read that real quick? Go ahead.
Matthew 18 and 10. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones.
Which the little ones are the elect. Okay, but he used children as an example. Go ahead.
For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven.
They're angels.
Right. Come on, man. Come on, that's heavy.
Yeah, I kept around those in fear too.
Yeah.
Psalms 34.
Right. That's why I said the eyes of the Lord behold the good and the evil.
Right.
Okay, so if you're going off, they watching that. You're doing good, they watching that. They're watching everything, man. Right. So your best bet is to fear the Lord, so Psalms 34 and 7 can come in effect, and they can deliver you out of anything because you fear the Lord. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You know. Back at Psalms 91, verse 13. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet, because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. And I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. How about you, Yahushua? He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Right. And that goes right back to Psalms 34, verse 7. And we read the whole chapter, talks about trusting the Lord, learn you to fear the Lord, fear you the saints. Okay? Come on now. Right. That faith, that fear, and understanding that we are connected to a power, and that's beyond this world.
Yes.
You got to walk that way with boldness and humility. Okay, you gotta understand all that.
Read some. Sirach 4:28. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. Through the angels, like we're going into. That's right. We're gonna be protected. You know, if you fear the Lord, we have faith. That's right.
That's why we got to go back to being spiritual people.
Right. Right. It all starts there first. Having that
We were-
connection to the Heavenly
Before we
Father.
had anything written down, what were we? We just did it.
Dry bones. You know.
No, but at the time of Adam,
Oh yeah.
the law was just a way.
But
Right.
spirit, we were very
That's what we were.
Right.
You know, we didn't need to go to a law book.
It's
Right? It was just
It's already
Proving we got weaker and fell weaker and weaker, so we had to write it down,
Yeah.
do this. You know what I'm saying?
that's what we're coming back into.
Yeah.
Literally, we're going back into that immortal form.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? To
Being
where
wired to be righteous, man.
That's right.
we're going to exist. All right, go ahead.
All right, this is Job chapter 5, verse 21. It says, "Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of the destruction when it cometh."
The lies, because they're going to be lying on us.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick, Revelation 12 and the 17. Real quick, go ahead.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
Who's the dragon? Rome. Okay, the revival of Rome is that red dragon, America, Esau. They're going to come, read that again.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah Mashiach.
There you go. He's going to get to a point where he's going to come after us. Right? But read that again.
This Job 5 and 21. It says, "Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of the destruction when it cometh."
So none of the lies going to hold up. Because it ain't true.
Right.
About the elect now amongst these other Israelites, because we got to be numbered amongst the transgressors. So they're going to be able to accuse us of things that bug outs do, all right, or particular groups they set up. So they're going to have a case to where people who are talking points like us, like, they're worthy of execution. And they're going to get their hands on some of us. Some of us are going to be beheaded, right? But there's going to come a point. He ain't going to get us all.
Some shall not taste death.
They're rich, yes. There you go.
I would say, and even with the just like the faith of Abraham, Abraham knew Isaac was gonna come back if he did what he did.
Right.
You gotta have that same belief. If I gotta die to fulfill the will of Yahweh Shai, I know he gonna bring me back.
What do you think the followers of Yahweh Shah were doing in the Roman Colosseums? Getting eaten by hungry lions.
Yep.
They didn't deny Yahweh Shah.
Nope.
The men and the women had to watch their children in some instances.
Yep.
Get eaten by hungry lions, bro.
Yeah.
All because they follow Yahweh Shai. Why? What would make them say, "I'm effing, do it to me"? They saw him. They saw the miracles.
Yeah.
They were with him. So it was nothing you could tell them,
They couldn't unsee it. Yeah.
right? That they was gonna turn away. You gotta have that type of faith now, all right? Because some of us were with him.
Right. That's right.
Though we don't see him with bodily eyes now, he's here.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Job 5 and 22. "At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth."
Well, you see a pit bull now. I remember I jumped on top of a Benz.
Is that your
Walking
pit?
from the BART station to Oakland Coliseum, fucking pit bull run up on me. I hopped on top of somebody's car. Scared as hell.
Yep.
A raccoon get your ass. Raccoons are crazy.
If they see a possum, it's over.
You know, you're like, hell no, man.
Hey, proving that the Lord is grace here is to get us prepared and to build our faith and to get us closer to him. Because that's a sign that we're closer to him, that we ain't afraid of what you should naturally be afraid of.
Right.
That shows we got closer to him, that light shining more and more to that great day. Because we glorify him on earth.
Right. And you're going to be in situations where wild animals are going to walk up to you and you can sick them on people. Watch.
Yep. They'll be following you right behind
Right.
you.
Guard you where you at. Bro, this is
running right behind you.
time of Noah, the animals were obedient to man. We're coming back into that form.
That's right.
We ain't supposed to be the below the beast. We're supposed to have dominion over the beast.
That's right.
They're supposed to fear us.
Right. All of them.
That's how it originally was. Okay, go ahead.
Job 5:23. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee.
Right. Woo, read that again.
Yeah, Job 5:23. It says, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Man,
Vibration within.
You can try to explain it, but you can't
It's hard
explain
to
it.
explain it, yeah.
Even now, Jake got the stones. Jake, I feel, and they do give off a vibration. But really, we're not truly connected with our power all the way yet. But we're coming back. And certain stones do work for particular situations in righteousness.
right. We believe that they were created for our sake.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They were.
And,
The priests.
and they were.
What
You
did
know
the
what I'm
priests
saying?
have? That's what they had. They
the,
literally.
the onyx stones on the shoulders, the breastplate. Yeah, each tribe got his own stone. You communicate with them. I'm gonna say that's how they communicated with the Lord.
Right.
You know?
Hey, you know what? Also, when you read, when you see the certain visions, you read the prophets of the heavens, they ain't leave with the stones.
Right.
When you read those scriptures, they break it all down.
Well, the Urim and the Thummim, it was behind the priest ephod on his heart. It wasn't actually upon the ephod. It was two stones. One was black, I believe, and one was white. And pretty much, when the priest would take these stones and they would ask the Lord, should we go to war? Should we do this? And the way that the light shined in the stone gave them the answers. That's why when the scriptures say when David asked of the Lord, should he fight the Philistines or should he do this? It was going to the priest. And the priest had that Urim and the Thummim, and it pretty much gave them the answers they needed. That's why at the time of Ezra, when they couldn't prove they were Israelites, they couldn't prove they were Levites, he said we got to wait until a priest with Urim and Thummim come, which ultimately is Yahweh Shai. And to see now the light shines through us. We're the stones. The light is shining through us, and the Lord is guiding us. But there's going to come a point, lively stone. There's going to come a point where the earth is going to have it to where it's operating in our favor, like working in our favor. I don't know how to
Like a magnet, drawn to metal.
Yeah. Read that again. This is what's coming. This is written, man. Read that again.
This is Job 5:23. It says, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. Like, bro,
Right, a rhino.
That's happening.
A rhino.
that's gonna happen. That's what I'm saying. Through the scriptures, through these precepts, we see this. We can't unsee this now.
Right.
We can't unsee being at league with the stones. We can't unsee walking behind Yahweh Shai on that straight gate. We can't unsee assholes getting burnt up.
We can't unsee it.
We can't unsee that. We understand that some fannies are made for fire. We can't unsee that. You see? We can't unsee the chariots beaming up the elect. We had to deal with y'all.
Wow. Right. See? Go ahead.
Verse 24, it says, and thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation, and shalt not sin. Woo. Thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great, and thy offspring as the grass of the earth.
That's Israel. Offspring. That's the Israelites.
That's what I'm saying. How you gonna have all that offspring floating around the clouds?
Yeah, we're gonna be on earth.
Come on, man.
We're
Verse
gonna be on
26.
earth. And one of the commandments is to be fruitful and multiply.
Right. Verse 26, it says, thou shalt come to thy grave in a full age, like as a shock of corn cometh in its season. Verse 27, it says, lo, this we have searched it, so it is, hear it, and know thou it for thy good. You see, so the things that the Lord promised far outweigh what Esau done lied about. Esau's version of eternal life, come on now. The Heavenly Father's form of eternal life, he wrote it down for us to read it and have hope in it. You see? Knowing that it's going to come true. The Lord said the sons of Jacob would not be consumed. Okay, so if they're not going to be consumed, what's going to happen to them? They're going to be delivered. You see? And then we can get to forever and leave all this other stuff behind, man. That was it on that chapter.
Isaiah chapter 11, verse 8. Verse 7. And the cow and the bear shall feed, and young ones shall lie down together.
Right now, this is a result.
Isaiah 11:5, and righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid.
See, that's right here. Discovery Channel. You watch animals just attack each other all day. On the kingdom, it's not gonna happen. They're gonna dwell in unity.
They're fighting over food.
Yeah, yeah. Survival of the fittest. They're gonna eat off the land. Okay, go ahead. You got something? Go ahead.
And the calf and the young lion and the fatling together.
Right. Well, is a calf go hang with a lion right now? No. That's dinner.
A leopard and a kid, forget about it.
That's lamb. How we get happy about lamb? That's how he looking. Go ahead.
And a little child shall lead them.
A little child shall lead them. Your little child will be walking with lions, elephants,
Playing with it like it's a puppy.
gorillas. Okay?
It's crazy.
Animals will be coming up to you with gifts from particular other lands, from particular, you know? Your child disappears. You don't see him for a year. You ain't worried. Good. That's rest.
God.
Your child go outside for 2 minutes and you looking.
He on the cereal aisle, you in the produce. Trip.
Right. Run out!
You know?
Bring your ass here.
You with nothing but worry. Man, that's not a life, man.
Nigga on his knees in the middle of the
In the kingdom, you don't see your child for 2 years. Yeah, maybe 10 years. Then he comes back one day with his wives. Look, Dad, I got this family here. I got this frankincense for you. You know what I'm saying?
Bow down in front of you. Everything is in order. You know, come on, that's beautiful.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's coming.
And it's coming. That's life. See, we think on such a low level because the little box Esau put us in.
Right.
But these are the types of things the Lord is going to do.
Right.
Like as a king, people ain't going to have access to you like that. Nobody ain't going to just be able to walk up on the king. Like right now, your woman could just walk in your room. What you doing? In the kingdom, the king, you didn't just walk up on the king. Either you summoned them or you got an appointment.
It's order, man. It's order. One of his officers
You
might
didn't
talk
just
to you
you
too.
couldn't
He
just
might
walk
not
up
even deal with you.
on the king like that. That's like walking in the Holy of Holies.
Right.
Because right now in this world, there's no order, and okay, he's over me. Here, there's no real action on that level that's happening in the average home.
Yeah. I mean that's just a curse. You know? We had to feel it. So we're letting you know that's why what Esther did was so big. She ran up on the king. He could have technically she should have been put to death. But the Lord put a spirit on him to listen to her calls, and eventually Haman got caught. But that wasn't really, you wasn't supposed to do that. Run up on the king, just run up in his room. No.
They used to fear him. That's coming back.
You know, Eve on Facebook talking about when I get to heaven, I'm gonna just go talk to Jesus and do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Eve just goes bypass the minute of the Lord. Yeah, what's that?
Past King David. You hear me?
Good thing our women ain't gonna have the mindset they have.
Right.
They're gonna all be righteous too.
Right.
They're gonna all be righteous. All our women gonna be righteous.
That's gonna be.
They're gonna be the top. The Israelite woman's gonna be the top woman on the planet Earth. Okay, sure. Nothing go top. Our people are gonna be the cream of the crop. It's just the truth.
All time, forever.
Ever and ever. That's right. And they're not gonna be queens. They're gonna be princesses. Okay.
It's Psalm 65 and verse 4. Blessed is the man whom thou choosest and causest to approach unto thee, that he may dwell in thy courts. We shall be satisfied with goodness of thy house, even of thy holy temple.
The courts, the king's courts. We're gonna be. We finna live, man. Now, imagine Eden being set back up. That was said to have been like, woo. Go ahead.
Back in Isaiah 11:7, and the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox.
The lion is gonna eat off the land. There's enough land for all animals to eat. Okay, they ain't gonna have to eat each other. Okay, ain't gonna be no Discovery Channel hunting season anymore. Okay, but we make them hunt you heathen, man. If we want them to, go ahead.
And the sucking child shall play on the hole of the ass.
A sucking child, a baby that's still sucking the breast, is ultimately going to be playing with poisonous snakes. That's life, man. To hell with voting for Joe Biden. Trump, get Trump back in office. How about getting Yahweh Shai in office?
Right.
Psalms 126, verse 1. When the Lord Yahweh Shai turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dreamed. Right, we were like them that dream, man. I mean, think about it. A dream can be so vivid. When you wake up, you're like, God, dog, it's gonna be like that because it's gonna be such an extreme difference between this captivity and our glory. That it's gonna seem unreal. So it's gonna seem like this was a dream. Like, hold on. So now we this high. You mean to tell me that was us in captivity? That low? Nah.
And that's why I said
That's a dream. Go ahead.
In Isaiah 14, they said this was he. I mean, it was talking about
Yeah.
And people gonna be like, it's no way.
What?
There's no way that was possible.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Verse 2, it says, then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. It was all a dream. Yeah, pretty much. Then said they among the heathen.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. Then said they among the heathen, the Lord hath done great things for them. So the heathen gonna be like, wow.
That's the people of the Lord. They're going to acknowledge it.
Fine.
Imagine what they're going to see. They're going to see us beamed up. Then eventually, whenever we come down, they're going to be like,
On the chariot, come on. On spiritual heavenly vehicles, come on.
Go ahead.
Back to Isaiah 11 and 8 again. And the sucking child shall play on the hole of the ass, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice's den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea.
That's what the knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Shai leads to.
Right.
Man having dominion over beast.
Right.
That's how important wisdom is.
Yeah.
All right, for a cat not to scratch your ass. Right? The wisdom is needed. So with that, we'll give all praise to the Heavenly Father.
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Kakadash.
Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect.
Shalom.
Steve,
Oh boy.
you gonna be like, I ain't took a shower in 2 weeks. Stinging like a mother getting that shower.
Shalom. Yes, sir. Mahabatham. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.